also
at Wilfred Bungei.
At Wilfred Bungei. Now, we're talking about the looming ban on Kenyan athletes. And it's very serious, by the way. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to talk about how we can stop this ban from coming to us. But it's imminent anyway. The government is on its own right now, fighting last-minute rush to salvage or to save the image of a nation, a world beater. We have been doing so well out there. But now, 45 athletes have tested positive and some have been suspended because of whereabouts rules broken. What is happening? Where are we headed to? Sports CS Amabuna Mwamba says he is doing everything in his power to end this doping. He says he's bringing new measures in and also to get us to where we're supposed to be. Let's listen to Ababna Mwamba before we are joined by Senator Cherargei, Senator from Nandi, Samson Cherargei, Kiprotich, to give us an update of what he thinks is happening.
Give 1 inch of space to doping. Kenya has built such a fine reputation, such a fine image as a sporting nation, as a nation that plays by the rules. We cannot allow anybody to destroy that image. And so I am going to be making anti-doping efforts a #1 priority for me and for government.
Well, that was my interview with CS Namwamba 3 days into office during the Stanchart Marathon that happened here in Nairobi. And they said they're doing everything within their power to help eliminate the menace of doping. Now, a week ago, he said the same thing. He said he's going to criminalize doping and make it look like anybody who does doping will be treated the same way as drug traffickers. Ken, here we are. It's Friday tomorrow. They're meeting with IAAF and WADA to make a decision. Either way, a ban, a suspension, or reprieve.
Jeff, it's really sad that we find ourselves where we are. Kenya, as you rightly said, is a sporting prowess in athletics. We are miles ahead of many others. But even with our abundance of talent, some of us have decided to go in another direction. The consolation that I have, because we've seen this happen before in the world, we saw that Russia was banned. They could not participate in the Olympics. My sole consolation, and it's driven a lot by what Babu has said, is that the government looks committed to making right what has gone wrong. They want to pass legislation to criminalize doping. They have accepted they want to add $5 million per year to ADAC, the doping, the body that's in charge of that kind of activity for this country. And I can only hope that IAAF will give us a reprieve.
Adding money to ADAC is not going to help anybody. They have a budget already. What have they done with it? They have nothing to show us. Anyway, I'm sorry to say this, but that's the reality. ADAC has nothing to show us. You have athletes doping left, right, and center. They're running away. They cannot be. They cannot keep up with it. They're telling us that I'm sick, I have an accident, and yet they doped, and they're running away. Yet at the end of the day, they end up being suspended. ADAC alone is not enough.
First and foremost, Jeff, let me tell you that everybody who loves sports, is waiting with the breath. And I say this with a lot of, concern. As you said, tomorrow, World Athletics, WADA, and Anti-Doping Integrity Unit, AIU, are meeting tomorrow actually in the Principality of Monaco. That is the headquarters of World Athletics. And they are going to make a decision especially on Kenya, whether we are going to go the Russian way or we are going to still remain in category A, where we have got 4 countries already that are in category A, meaning any time could have been banned. But our situation, and especially the way Ken has put it, that we have got in excess of 45 Kenyan athletes only in the last 1 year.
1 year.
That is so huge. It is almost like 80% of all the doping in the world that we are in. And that is why something that I'm happy, and I think, watching Ababu Namambi to talk about it, that this is a sport that has brought this country to where we are. This is a sport that all of us are proud of. And here we are staring at the ban. And there are so many things, Jeff, that I want to inform you. Number one, if Kenya will be banned, remember that, without Kenyans, there is no athletics, whether it is World Championships or Olympics. But there is a bigger shame that will happen after, because you can imagine when you get banned, and then even if you will be allowed in the future, everybody will be questioning our Kenyan athletes. And yet we know that majority of these athletes, we have got thousands of athletes. We already have only 40. Now, something I'm so happy about is that already Ababu Namamba has written to World Athletics. What we know also is that the way Ken put it, the Russian situation and the Kenyan situation. Russian situation was exacerbated by the federation and the government. But in the case of Kenya, it's only the athletes. Not the federation is not involved, neither the government is. But he has already written to them that, we are doing everything we can. Just as Ken put it, that, they are putting another 5 million for these guys to be able to test more athletes. With the budget that I have, I believe they are doing around 1,500 athletes, but we need more testing. There is something else also that is very important. The number of tests that is going on should be bigger so that we can be able to get those athletes who are cheating. Because if we don't do that, Jeff, we will be in a situation whereby some athletes will dope, and because they know that they may not be tested, because we don't have the capacity as a country, then that way they get away with it.
If we institutionalize doping, then it means we are doing something on another side which might as well be aiding or maybe reducing it in one way or the other. We have institutions in this country. We have spent so much money in athletics. If we are suspended today, like we have been in the A list for almost a year now, 1 year is the time that we've spent in that list, the list of countries, top countries which have been doping.
Yes.
What happens to the work that Kipchoge's, Faith Kipchoge, and the best athletes of this country have done, the likes of Fernando Manyala and the rest have done for this country, and we are suspended or we are banned? How do we even pay them off what
Jeff,
they have done?
You can't even begin to fathom the economic value of athletics in this country, including the topics that we've had on this show. Imagine there was no athletics. What would we talk about, On a more serious note, athletics, right from the camps in Iten, where even foreigners come, beginning from, you go to a town like Eldoret, now it's a city like Eldoret. Half of it or 3/4 of it, and as my brother Wilfred will tell you, is all because of athletes. Imagine you are killing that, or you are ensuring that that will not happen again. Look at the travel agents who sell air tickets to these people. Where that business, you're killing it, it's gone. Look at let me not call them hangers on, look at the people, the entourages of these people. It's really going to be deep. It's going to cut really, really deep. And that's why I'm happy that Ababu is willing to go the extra mile and ensure that this doping is actually criminalized, because it is actually criminal. Where we have reached now is a bad situation. It's not where we were 1 year ago. 1 year ago, maybe we're getting 2, 3, 4 bans. Now even champions are getting banned. So initially it looked like it's the agents who are greedy, but now where we have reached, even the athletes have become very greedy, because they are now going.
It's so bad that athletes have been banned, served the sentence of banning, and then they came back. They served the 3 years, 4 years, or 6 years. They came back and dope again, and they're suspended again. What a shame is that?
Let alone
and
that even...
What do we stand to lose? Bongei, what do we stand to lose? Should we be banned?
Well,
what do we lose as a country in terms of athletics?
I think number one, Gen has already put it very clearly. And I don't understand whether the dopers or even the country understands what it means for athletics in this country, in the world, and especially in Kenya. let me not put the economic side. But you can imagine that if Kenya gets banned, they will not participate in World Championships. And if they do, they will wear maybe the World Athletics colors. We will not have national anthem. However, even those chances to be given is almost impossible to be. Number two, we know that during the major marathons that has gone on, that we finished with New York, we won all the major marathons. Remember that if this happens, no Kenyan athlete will travel out of the country to go and run. Whether it is Diamond League, road races, the marathon majors, there will not be any chance. Now remember, and I like when you mention someone like Eliud Kipchoge, you can imagine that Eliud would like to make history for doing almost 5 Olympics, winning 3 consecutive in 2024. But now, if Kenya gets banned tomorrow, remember we are not talking, Jeff, about any other time. It is less than 24 hours from now before we understand the fate where Kenya is. And this is where the major problem is. And I would wish and hope that the letter that Ababu Namamba has written to World Athletics, they will be able to understand and realize that we cannot go on, or World Athletics cannot go on without Kenyans. Now, you know, Ken mentioned about what all these athletes have done. But I have also looked at this situation in terms of the media side. Many of the media guys, they travel. Even our media stations, they are able to be out there because of World Championships, because of Olympics. We have the ministry officials. We have the federation. We have the camps where these people are. We have their families that they are relying on. And we are staring at a situation whereby for the next 2 years, 3 years, by the way, Chef, Kenya went to category A in 2018. We are talking about 4 years that we have been in category A. If this situation gets worse, we may get 4 years. Russia was banned in 2018. Also at the same time that Kenya was put on category A. Until today, they are not participating in any championships. Even the Winter Olympics, they never participated. So you can imagine the repercussion. We will be
having a big problem later on. It's crazy. It's crazy that this is how things go. You know, Sebastian Coe won the Olympics, I think, with 3 minutes and 800 meters. That time Kenya did not participate. Can you imagine that? Now, how many lazy athletes out there will be very happy that Kenya is not participating? I'm told that we have on lines Senator. Okay, my director is telling me that he is not ready. But when we get Senator Cherargei from Nandi, he will tell us his views as well. I'm told that he has a dossier on this issue of doping. Ken, what do you think should be the way forward now? We have a lot to lose. We have so many issues here at hand, and so many countries, so many people, specifically from the West, want Kenya out. Because every time they turn up for this event, they only see Kenyan national anthems sung in full, and we are winning medals, gold, silver, and bronze, and they don't get anything. Now they want to win. What do you think should be our reasoning going forward?
Jeff, one, the first phase of solving an issue is accepting that there is an issue. I think we're already at that point. What is government proposing? Government has proposed to, 1, to criminalize it, and 2, to go deeper in the funding of ADAC, because it is ADAC that basically looks after all these things. It's ADAC that is supposed to do all the testing. Is the one, I think there's a lab that was built after 2017 when the government passed, because ADAC had to be created through the constitution, so they managed to change the law. I also think, Jeff, I agree, yes, a lot of the West does not want to see Kenyan athletes because we go and just dominate, okay? We've been dominating we used to dominate the 3,000 meters steeplechase. My brother here in the 800 meters started it all through with Paul Ereng and until where we are now. we are now in the marathons. Okay, we've gotten to a point where these Western nations are reducing the number of Kenyans. If you look at the story of the Diamond League, less and less Kenyans are participating in the Diamond Leagues. Why? They say they think possibly is to give others opportunity to win. But at the end of the day, there is no doubt that the competition that Kenya offers, the competition, it lifts the value of the races. That is why they don't want to entirely tell us, no, you can't come to Zurich. You go to Monaco or something. No. We will still go because our presence is adding value to these tournaments. When Kipchoge Keino is going to run in London, the value of that competition triples, and then he's there attempting a world record. It triples again. Okay, so it is, in as much as Kenya will lose, world athletics will also lose, and that's why I'm hoping that sobriety will prevail tomorrow when these good people meet in Monte Carlo, in Monaco, and believe what we have written to them, what we have told them we are ready to do, how we intend to tackle this menace. Give us the benefit of doubt. This is a new government. It's in place now. And maybe they have a new idea and they know how to tackle this. That's the way I look at it, Jeff.
Jeff, just allow me to intervene.
20 seconds so that we can move on to other topics as well.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to disagree with both of you that, the world doesn't need Kenyan athletes. Let me tell you, there is no athletics if there is no Kenyan athlete. That is the only thing that I wanted to make it very clear because, and I'm happy, Ken, at last, you say that Zurich cannot be Zurich without Kenyan athletes.
Exactly.
London cannot be what it is without Kenyan athletes. Let me tell you, everybody needs them. And that is why we have been given this chance for a very long time. And that is why we hope tomorrow we have the last chance, but the government must do something.
But we can't mess a sport just because we are Kenyans anyway. Doping is illegal and it cannot be warranted anyway. So it's an issue about our integrity and how we handle our issues, and telling our athletes that running clean is more important and better, and winning clean is more important and better than cheating. Because when you become cheats, then nobody will believe you. That's why Russia is where they are right now. And if you follow Russian way, we might end up